The last time I left you, I had shared some news that I was diagnosed with adenomyosis. Living now with endo and adenomyosis, it's just been, a lot to process, a lot to handle, but I'm feeling, I think, a little bit more settled in the news today. I wanted to bring you along this week on basically how I'm taking care of myself with like a new diagnosis and a new name to my pain. Just take you along on what this week looks like for me on just coming to terms with my new diagnosis. I just finished up the workday. I felt pretty good at work. My head was somewhat on the health diagnosis, but overall I felt pretty connected to work and dove straight in. And I think having lots of meetings helped make me a little bit preoccupied mentally about thinking about different things. I know that I have a lot of feelings about this that I might be suppressing right now because, again, day 2, I don't really know exactly what the emotions are. If it's fear coming forward more so, or is it anxiety? Is it relief? Like, I don't know what's really there under the surface, but I want to kind of uncover what the main emotion that I'm feeling right now. What has helped me in the past navigate these types of feelings has been journaling. So in this little bracket of time that I have between work and picking up my daughter, I'm going to journal and just get out all the feelings and see what comes forward. It's all about getting the feelings out on paper and not holding it all in. And I think that's like a healthy thing for me to do right now. Feeling pretty good this morning. The past couple of days I have had some like cramping in my lower abdomen. It's a bit more tender than usual. It could be ovulatory pain. I don't know anymore like what is causing pain or not. So that's kind of like a fun guessing game that I have for myself, but I'm putting it down to either endo or adenomyosis being a little bit tricky the past couple of days. But overall feeling pretty good on day 3. Yesterday I journaled out some emotions and lo and behold, anxiety and fear were at the top of the list. I came to realize that I've walked this unknown path before with endo. I just have to trust myself and trust that my body is going to like give me signals and cues on when to rest and when to take care of myself, and I just have to listen more to my body. I think when I first got my endo diagnosis, I was more mad at my body and like I blame my body for like being not what it was supposed to be. This time around with this diagnosis, I think the fear and anxiety come from just like learning a new name and what that means. But I'm not blaming my body as much this time. Like I feel like I've come a long way with the relationship with my body, ebbs and flows when it comes to it. I'm not quick right now to say like, oh, I hate my body, like I don't like my body. Like it's not that. And that I think is a win this time around with this diagnosis, because this diagnosis was a shock. I think a fear for myself is that like, is there anything else that's gonna pop up and like be like, surprise, you also have this? And I'm like, I think that's the fear. I think throughout my YouTube channel, like I've done a lot of research on endo, and throughout the years I've come across adenomyosis. And so I know of it a little bit more than just like coming in blindly to like, what does this mean? And so that's a bit more reassuring. But if it's anything else outside of endo, adenomyosis, PCOS, I'd be like, what does that mean? And so that's, I think, where the fear is. That's kind of what came forward in the journaling yesterday. But today I had a warm bath. I was able to drop my daughter off early, and so I bubble bathed it this morning. And it was so nice because I had time before work to really just have time for myself. I put on calming music. That's also been a new thing this week. I find the bath is like a self-care move since having chronic pain, but especially this week, because I'm looking for ways to feel weightless. I have like a lot of weight on my shoulders and like anxiety and fear when I was journaling, and I let a little bit of that out on paper. But to feel weightless and to float and to feel held by something like water in a bath, it just makes you feel like you can have a moment to breathe. And so I always find that I feel safe and like reconnected with my body a little bit in the bath. I use the Honest Company's bubble bath. It's actually my daughter's, but it's so calming. It's lavender scent, and I had time to think. And because it was the morning, it just felt a little bit more peaceful. I didn't have thoughts throughout the day of like, oh, I made a mistake at work or whatever it is. Like having the moment in the morning, I typically don't do, but I might try and do more morning baths just to like have a calming meditative experience before diving right into the workday. Right after, I put on Sunday's anti-inflammatory oil. I just put it on my stomach because again, I have had that cramping this week. Not sponsored, they're a great company, they're Canadian, really focused on chronic pain essentials like oils and teas and creams to help like any pain or discomfort when it comes to endo or adenomyosis, PCOS. So I'll link them down below if you want to check them out. I'm gonna jump into work now, and we'll see what the next day holds for my self-care journey. Today, you can probably tell I have a huge smile on my face. I am feeling really good today. I don't have any cramping today. I'm feeling really good on the pain scale, and it's super nice outside. I just came back from a walk with Cooper, our little chocolate lab, if you don't know. I still have time in my lunch hour, and there's something that I want to do today for my self-care journey, and that is to treat myself to a wildflower bouquet. I live on about 1.5 acres of land, and there are so many beautiful wildflowers that are popping up right now. And it just goes to show something so simple like picking wildflowers and making yourself a bouquet for free can really just shift your mindset of I am deserving of going outside into fresh air, enjoying the sunshine, and gifting myself something that doesn't cost anything but still brings me a sense of joy and happiness. That's what we're gonna do today on day 4, is make ourselves a wildflower bouquet and treat ourselves to something that is so simple but means the world on bringing a smile to my face. So let's go pick some wildflowers and make our bouquet. I'm at the stage of the week where I feel ready to learn a little bit more about adenomyosis. The more I know about it, the more I feel in control, the more I have information to like navigate next steps. I feel like when it first came to endometriosis, I was a little bit nervous about learning more because I didn't know what that meant for the future self and my future pain. Started to pick away slowly and learn a little bit more about endo weekly, if not monthly. I felt more at ease because I felt in control of the diagnosis versus it controlling me. At the beginning of this week, I don't think I was quite ready to dive right into learning about adenomyosis. And given, again, I've talked about it throughout this video, like I knew a little bit about it already. So that helped kind of soften the blow of what is this? But today, for my self-care journey and the way that I handle information and news about daunting, fearful things is to slowly start to learn a little bit more about the disease or diagnosis. I want to be in the driver's seat. I want to know as much as I can in bite-sized moderations, because if you dive fully in, it can get very overwhelming, and I've done that too in the past. But learning in bite-sized ways of like 1 or 2 new things weekly about your diagnosis, I find can just make you feel, again, in control. You're learning a little bit more about your options on what pain management techniques you want to do, or you can talk more openly about it. And when I feel like I can talk about something that's happening to me, again, I just feel like at peace with it, because the more I talk about it, the more it becomes reality, the less I'm sheltering it away saying, I don't have that, I'm fine, everything's fine. And I find that if I do that, then I'm doing myself a disservice of getting the best care and information for myself that I can. That's how I process things. I don't know if you're the same. Feel free to comment down below. But Today, and the final thing I'll do this week for myself in my self-care journey, is to learn 1 or 2 new things about adenomyosis to have in my toolkit and to feel a little bit more in control of my body and my life with this new name to my pain. I would love to hear down below in the comments how you handled a new diagnosis for yourself, whether that was endometriosis years ago or you just received a new diagnosis like myself. I'd love to know down below how you handled that first week. Was it, again, having a warm bath, doing something nice for yourself, educating yourself a little bit about the new diagnosis, or something in between? I would love to know, and I know that it would help somebody else in their journey trying to navigate a new name to their pain. With that, I'm going to learn a little bit more about adenomyosis, and I will talk to you on the next video.